This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time is 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Tilani Pires. The President stresses that the army camps established in the north and east will never be withdrawn. Ajit Mana Peruma replaces Ranjan Ramanayaka as an MP. 3 COVID-19 infections of Denmark variant detected from Colombo. New housing program has been implemented in Ratnapura. And on news overseas, Myanmar's ex-ambassador in London says he was locked out of his embassy. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa stresses that the army camps established in the northern and eastern provinces will never be withdrawn under any circumstances. The government has given priority to national security. The government is committed to create a peaceful situation in the country for all citizens to live without fear or suspicion. The president made these comments addressing the Advisory Council of the Defence Ministry. He further said that an investigation will be carried out to nab the persons who cut down forests and illegally mining sand deposits. An extraordinary gazette was issued today declaring Ajit Mana Peruma as an MP replacing Ranjan Ramanayaka. According to the results of the last parliamentary election, Ajit Mana Peruma led the SJB preferential vote list from among those who were not elected to parliament with 47,212 preferential votes. The Minister of Health confirms that another 260 persons have tested positive for the coronavirus in the country today. This brings the tally of COVID-19 cases reported in Sri Lanka thus far to 94,253. Meanwhile, the Denmark lineage of COVID-19 has been identified in virus samples collected from 3 persons in the community in Colombo, says Dr. Chandima Jivandra, Director of Allergy, Immunity and Cell Biology Unit of the University of Sri Javadanapura. Sri Lanka has carried out monthly genetic sequencing of the COVID-19 virus variants since the virus first entered the country in March 2020. Accordingly, a total of 55 samples have been subjected to genetic sequencing for the month of March 2021, said Dr. Chandima Jivandra. He says that 36 of the sequence samples belong to the Sri Lankan lineage B1.411 variant. This variant is endemic to Sri Lanka, and nearly 94% of the cases of this lineage found in the world have been reported from Sri Lanka. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Digital accounts can now be opened in 10 minutes. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
A new housing program has been implemented in the Ratnapura district for the homeless families in the district. The State Minister Indika Anuruddha says that 20,000 such families will be provided with housing units. He further said that his ministry has focused special attention to construct houses under proper standards. A fully equipped theatre will be established for the Rajarata service of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The foundation stone will be laid at the auspicious time of 9:18 a.m. tomorrow under the patronage of the Media Minister Kehelia Nabukwella. Thereafter, the SLBC Music Academy will be launched. A ceremony to felicitate artists from Rajarata will be held in the afternoon. Radio artists from Rajarata will be presented with awards at the ceremony. A cultural pageant and a musical show have also been organized. Meanwhile, the Ratana Sutra chanting will be held tomorrow under the guidance of the Chief Prelate of the Anuradhapura Atamasthana, the Venerable Pallegama Srinivasa Thera, to invoke blessings on the country and the people to coincide with the event. That ends local news for now.
Debit card, mobile and internet banking along with cardless cash facilities can now be opened in just 10 minutes with no form filling with People's Bank Digital Banking.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Deputy Director General of Health Services, Dr. S.M. Anand, says that Sri Lankans arriving from overseas can go to their homes without undergoing quarantine. He said they can do so if it is confirmed that they have not been infected with COVID-19 following PCR tests and taken the full dose of COVID vaccine 2 weeks earlier. He said that medical officers have been appointed to check those who have been subjected to home quarantine. He mentioned this during a media briefing today at the Health Promotion Bureau. Chief Epidemiologist Dr. Sudat Samaravira said that all hospitals have been instructed to inform his unit if a person who has given the COVID vaccine has been hospitalized after 3 days or within 3 weeks. He said that approval should be obtained from the medical officer in the area and the public health inspector to conduct New Year festivals. He further said that approval should be obtained from the Director General of Health Services for special festivals. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And on Watchlight tonight, during the past 15 months, about 50 police officers have died in road accidents, police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana told the media recently. About 367 police officers had been injured during that period as well, he said. In 2020, about 30 police officers died in road accidents, while 297 were injured, he added. During the past 3 months of this year, 20 police officers died in road accidents, while 70 were injured, the police media spokesman said. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
The best discount in this Urdu season, People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011 206 300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. Myanmar's ex-ambassador in London says he was locked out of his embassy. South Korea ruling party suffers a crushing defeat in the mayoral vote. Dubai deports group over nude balcony shoot. Myanmar's ex-ambassador in London spent Wednesday night in his car after saying he was locked out of his embassy. Kwazwar Min said staff were asked to leave the building by Myanmar's military attaché and he was dismissed as the country's representative. British Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab has condemned the bullying actions, but the UK has accepted the change. Myanmar's military seized power in a coup on 1st February, sparking protests and escalating violence. South Korea's governing Democratic Party has suffered a crushing defeat in mayoral elections in the country's two biggest cities, Seoul and Busan. Candidates from the opposition People's Power Party, PPP, won both cities by big margins. Both former mayors from President Moon's Democratic Party were accused of sexually misconduct while in office. In Busan, the incumbent resigned. Seoul's mayor was found dead in a suspected suicide. A group arrested in Dubai following a nude photo shoot on a balcony are said to be deported, authorities confirmed. At least 12 Ukrainian women and a Russian man were detained after a video posted on social media showed a group posing nude in Dubai's marina area. They were accused of public debauchery, which carries a sentence of up to 6 months in prison and a 5,000 dirham fine. Despite being a popular tourist hotspot, Dubai has strict laws. Back to the world news headlines. Myanmar's ex-ambassador in London says he was locked out of his embassy. South Korea ruling party suffers a crushing defeat in the mayoral vote. Dubai deports group over nude balcony shoot. That ends world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
The best discount in this Urdu season, People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011 206 300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by
CIB New Year offer. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment during 1st to 10th April. 20% discount for bank card holders. Our place, our product. CIB.
And on development news, the Regional Cooperation State Minister Tharaka Balasurya said that during the period of 4 years which has passed since the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was established, a massive development drive has taken place in the country. The State Minister made these comments at the Kagala District Representatives Conference affiliated to the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Progressive Trade Union National Centre held at the Kagala Municipal Hall recently under the theme Siudasa Suraki Siwasara, or the 4 years that secured all 4 directions. That came to you on Development News.
Development News was brought to you by
CIB Nivea offer valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment during 1st to 10th April. 20% discount for bank card holders. Our place, our product. CIB.
Coming up, sports news. Sri Lanka's new cricket selection committee has been appointed. Pramod Wickremesinghe is the chairman of the committee. Members are Romesh Kaluwitarana, Hemantha Wickremaratne, Varuna Waragoda, Uwais Karanain and Miss Tilaka Nilmani Gunaratne. The richest and most glamorous tournament in world cricket is on schedule in India, even as the country battles a deadly second wave of COVID-19 infections. Beginning on Friday, the Indian Premier League, IPL, will have 8 teams playing 52 games at 6 venues behind closed doors across the country. The final will be played on 30th May. The matches will be held in Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Ahmedabad. Most of these cities are seeing a sharp uptick in infections and hospitalizations. More than 165,000 people have died with COVID-19 in India, and there have been 12.5 million confirmed infections. Indian legend Sachin Tendulkar has been released from hospital a week after he was admitted having contracted COVID-19. Tendulkar, 47, said on 27th March he had tested positive and was taken to a Mumbai hospital 6 days later as a matter of abundant precautions. The former batsman says he has returned home and will remain isolated while continuing to rest and recuperate. That ends sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka's rupee closed weaker at 201 rupees to 202 rupees and 50 cents to the 1 week US dollar on Thursday, while gilt yields were edged up ahead the bond auction on Friday, dealers said. The rupee last closed in the 1 week forward market at 202 to 203 rupees to the US dollar today. Sri Lanka has its policy review meeting tomorrow. That's Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
And on economic news, Sri Lanka is in a mission to the Middle East to secure funding to buffer the island's external payments, Central Bank Governor W.D. Lakshman said, as the island's balance of payments was pressured by money printing. The governor said the present visit is to the Middle Eastern region and there would be more positivity within the next few weeks. Sri Lanka has fixed oil fuel prices in a long-standing practice that hits the balance of payments, with taxes being cut to widen non-oil consumption as global prices rise. That came to you in economic news.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And now to conclude the weather report, the Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places over most parts of the island in the evening or night. Heavy falls, about 100 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the Uva, Sabaragamuwa, Central, Southern and Western provinces. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Central, Sabaragamuwa and Western provinces during the morning. The sun is directly over Sri Lanka from the 5th to the 14th of April. That was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasir, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And now to end this news broadcast, the main points once again. The President stresses that the army camps established in the north and the east will never be withdrawn. Ajit Manam replaces Ranjan Ramanayake as an MP. 3 COVID-19 infections of Denmark variant detected from Colombo. New housing program has been implemented in Ratnapura. And on news overseas, Myanmar's ex-ambassador in London says he was locked out of his embassy. That ends this news broadcast. And now it's back to my friend and colleague, Soundhi Thavam.